The State of the Union Address. It's a nighttime TV extravaganza with as much pomp and circumstance as anything on Capitol Hill, outside an inauguration. Like many things in Washington, the whole ordeal used to happen on a much smaller and simpler scale. Let's take a look back at the evolution of the address. The Constitution mandates the President shall, from time to time, give Congress information on the State of the Union, and recommend such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient. And for more than a century, that got accomplished with a thick written report. Woodrow Wilson was the first to use the address in its modern form by using the State of the Union to sell his agenda to Congress, and a joint session held once a year to hear from the President has been the default setting since 1913. The Bowie pulpit has gotten bigger as technology has changed. The speech has been on the radio since Calvin Coolidge in 1923, and on television since Harry Truman in 1947. Lyndon Johnson moved the address to prime time in 1965, and minority responses began the following year in 1966. Broadcasts on high-definition TV and webcasts started under George W. Bush. In the past, the State of the Union has been a stage for historic moments to unfold. Franklin Roosevelt famously outlined the 4 essential human freedoms in 1941 as World War II erupted across Europe. And George W. Bush said,
"States like these and their terrorist allies constitute an axis of evil,"
referring to Iraq, Iran, and North Korea in his 2002 address months after 9/11. In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson declared,
"Let this session of Congress be known as the session which declared all-out war on human poverty."
And in 1974, Richard Nixon said,
"1 year of Watergate is enough."
1 year later, in the wake of Nixon's resignation, Gerald Ford made a diagnosis that
the State of the Union is not good.
Ronald Reagan became the first president to delay a State of the Union address in 1986, when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded at liftoff on January 28th, the original date of the address. Reagan spoke to the nation from the Oval Office instead, stating,
"Today is a day for mourning and remembering,"
and gave the official speech a week later. Donald Trump's third address to Congress is only the second State of the Union to have been postponed. Bill Clinton's 1996 speech is famous for his declaration that
the era of big government is over,
and took the opportunity to criticize Republicans for a 21-day shutdown, now the second longest in our country's history, urging Congress to
never, ever shut the federal government down again.
Of course, we all know how that turned out.
We are headed toward a shutdown.
You're waking up to a government that is shut down.
The federal government now officially partially shut down.
A majority are blaming President Trump for the government shutdown.